Hello and welcome back, friends. My goodness gracious, it is finally here. It is the Empires and Puzzles 9th birthday celebration. It has released into the game, and the birthday summon is upon us. Now, there is so much to go over here. This is going to be a relatively long video just because of the sheer amount of stuff to talk about, but let's go ahead and get things started, right? I'm going to walk you through the whole process here. We're going to go over these new heroes. I'm going to show you the selectable options that you have and do a brief synopsis of which ones I think are great, or etc. And then last but not least, I'll probably finish out this video with doing a 10 pull. I do love these gimmick portals, so you can get an idea of how it's all going to work. So to start things out, let's see the details of this particular portal. We are going to be starting with the fact that there is a 1% chance to pull a featured legendary hero, which honestly, I will say this, that is much higher than it has been previously. I think they had them at 0.5% chance before, or even down to 0.2% chance at times, right? I think it was at times 0.2% chance. So I'm assuming that this counts these new rodent family heroes, so that's interesting to see. Then it says costume is included if available. That's always nice to know. For each summoned legendary hero, you will get another non-featured legendary hero as a bonus as well. So that's very cool. If you do summon a legendary, you get that extra legendary. That's part of the reason these portals are a lot of fun. And then the legendary hero of the month is in there too at 1.3%. But I think what's important to note is that if you go back up here, a regular legendary hero is 1.5%. So although you only get a 1% chance for a featured, 1.5% chance is pretty good for the other ones. Let's see. For each summon legendary hero, you receive another non-featured legendary. Okay, so it's not saying you need to summon a featured to get the bonus hero. Any 5-star legendary hero summoned will trigger a second one. Now, I do believe there is the same rule that there won't be any heroes in this portal that are more than 2 years old. Yes, right there. Up to 730 days. So, granted, look, 2 years old, 730 days ago, I mean, those heroes are going to feel dated. I'm not going to lie to you. They're just not going to be as exciting. But this portal will also include every single brand new hero that came out. In fact, just yesterday, the Elemental portal came out, and there they are, both of them, right? You've got your My Lady Winter, you got your Clunky guy, you know, and then as you can see, it just has everything. Even the new Mimic that was most recently is in there. There's your veggies. So anyway, my point is that it is all available. Now, the other nice thing about this particular portal is that they do offer you the option to pick your choosable featured heroes for 3 of these choices. And of the list they give you, it's absolutely massive. Now, I went through and I picked 3 that I thought were kind of fun. I don't have a veggie yet. I do like this bell pepper, I think it is, mostly because I am a little bit short on dispellers and cleansers. This guy is one of the best dispel options, if not the only dispel option in there, which is interesting. But he's also a veggie, and I'd love to get my hands on making some of those fiends each turn. They have avoided me thus far. Again, I put another veggie in there. This guy's fun. I do like the growth that he offers and the healing, and I think he is an interesting character I can use in a lot of aspects of the game, so I'd be happy to pick him up. And then, of course, Lane, our shady scoundrel, is absolutely fun. I enjoy his survivability, so I think he is a fun hero to throw into the mix as well. Now, as for what else can be featured, let's talk about it. We've got Salome. Salome is going to be an absolute monster. She is like the healer that you see everyone want right now. She just does everything so well. So great choice. I'm just extremely overloaded in red, so I'm trying not to put too many reds in my selection. Usted, I mean, not enough said, right? We've all gone up against him in wars and raids, etc. He is just an absolute monster in his own right. I don't think we really need to talk much more about what this guy can do. We're all very aware. Down here, we've got the brand new ninja that came out. Very interesting guy, multiple tiers, mostly an attack hero, and he exists around the idea of building a ton of additional stats for your team through growth. Interesting guy, but maybe not one of my top picks for this portal. Catalina, if you are trying to stack your wildcats, Catalina is not terrible. It's definitely something to consider. I don't think she was one of my favorite wildcats, but I have seen her used fairly effectively. Then we've got another Veggie. This guy's a pretty good Veggie too. He's a hit all. He makes the fiends. He's not a particularly strong hit all, but I think he does everything he needs to do quite adequately. And you create the fiends each turn. This Wildcat is a bit of a monster because of her hit all and the massive dot effect that she leaves. And popping back up lets her cast her pretty big hit all pretty much instantly again. So like with that in mind, she is an excellent choice if you're looking for damage that is hard to get rid of. Kesha is the Magic Tower hero here. I mean, she's interesting. She makes your whole team dance, right? She does do a pretty decent hit all at slow speed, and the increased mana generation is quite fun, and the reduced damage is helpful, but the slow speed to cast makes her a little tricky to use in some formats, and then not being able to buff your own team can be kind of tough to deal with as well. Okay, Thaffer. I mean, I think we're all aware of Thaffer's dominance as a Wildcat. He's an absolute headache to deal with, so I understand why people want to select him. I did not, because I already have Thaffer, luckily. All right. Oh, this healer, Fravaravaru. I always mispronounce her name. Just go with it. Anyway, great healer. I don't think we need to go much into this because she has been around for a while and messing with raids and wars. I think the most important thing to remember, she's a huge boosted health healer. She dispels all enemies, and then she will debuff one enemy each turn, and they'll get negative 80% mana generation for 3 turns, which is ridiculous. Negative 80% basically turns you into nothing. So that's really rough. All right. Bunga is an incredibly strong hit all. If you're looking for somebody who can just wreck an entire team, this guy's there. Like he does it. He can absolutely devastate an entire team. So, great choice. I have no complaints about that. He is operating at slow though, so it makes him a little more difficult. Gosh, this demon is an absolute monster. If you like controlling the field with mana generation, this is your girl. She is an absolute monster for damage. She's going to stop them from gaining mana. She's going to punish them for attempting to gain mana, and she's going to do dot effects across the board. She's doing all of this at fast speed. I have to admit, she is an absolute beast. So just be aware that she's a great choice. Of course, our new Three Kingdoms guy, this guy's going to hit, 9 times, I think? Granted, his other hits do a little bit less at 150%, but he has a very high chance to crit, so the damage from them is pretty high, and each crit will reduce max health again. So just remember, this guy does a lot of max health reduction, even though it doesn't necessarily say it on the card. All right. Imagus might be the weakest hero in this portal, but he is an amazing support hero tank for raids and wars. The wither, the heal reduction, the cleansing of your team each turn. He is an absolutely amazing support hero. And when he first came out, I gave this guy a lot of kudos and no one was on board with him. You can go back and check my review video. Now people understand the value. Now people want this guy a lot. So I can see why people would select him. He is a very good hero. Okay, down here we have Veer. Veer is a monster for damage, also puts dodge on your team. Just an excellent temple hero, operating at fast speed again and hitting 3, pretty cool guy. Ibilis is going to go ahead and attack the outer edges, and then he's going to reduce the mana of the outer edges in the formation and put resonance dot on them. I think we're pretty aware of Sharif as well. She's been all over the place. She does a ton of damage because she hits 3 times for 400%. The hit targets get that plus 30% damage taken, and they receive a bleed as well. She's just an excellent hero for doing damage, and she does pretty much everything you need her to do. And last but not least, this was the last Astral Demon I think they dropped for us, so her CP is pretty high. She is a very good healer. She also buffs up your team's attack, so the next damage special they cast will hit harder. So I do enjoy that about her, operating at average speed. She's got Fiend Resist. Just all in all, she's a pretty good healer. Now, what is my point of going over all this is to point out that all of these heroes are pretty darn good. Like, some of them are absolutely excellent, but at the bottom tier, you get pretty darn good. So you are able to pick what you want. And I'm not going to tell you there's a best hero to go with because I think it's misleading. And I think more importantly, I would encourage you to look at your roster, right? See what you have leveling mats for. See what you're missing for class bonuses or, dispels or cleanses or whatever it is that you feel like you need to do for your roster. This is one of the few moments where you can pick a hero to enter your roster and fit in your leveling plan well. which is part of the reason why you didn't see me stack a lot of reds, even though there's some fantastic red heroes. The reality is I already pulled 2 reds as my most recent pulls that I'm still leveling. A third red is going to be very difficult. Now, I will make an exception because, again, there are certain things that I need. For example, I need some more Dispellers and Cleansers. Both of these veggies will do that for me. A Dispel and a Cleanse, they also give me the Fiend. So for me, that was the right choice. Not that I didn't want some of these other heroes. They're great. But to fit my roster, I can level all of these pretty well. The green and the blue I can level with no difficulty immediately. The red will have to sit on the bench for a moment, but I think he's worth it overall. Okay, so let's see what we have in our new heroes. We have a couple rodents this time around. I do remember getting a quick sneak peek at these guys from the beta information that was released, but I remember not being overly impressed by them. Let's see what they look like at actual release. So to start things out, we are going to get a wizard class for this guy. That's going to give you that chance to do a little bit of extra damage based off their buffs. What is the family bonus says? It says adventurous rodent. So the adventurous rodent gets a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes, plus 6, 12, 18% extra chance to dodge special skills. So all by their lonesome, it's only a 6% chance. It's not huge, but okay. Each special skill dodged heals this character for 100, 150, or 200 health. I mean, okay. This is making me feel very similar to the Wildcats in the family bonus style. It's okay, just not amazing. Okay, down here in passives, we get Nibble. When this ally casts their special skill, this character deals 200% damage and gives negative 35% defense for 3 turns to a random enemy. Okay, it's only to one enemy, though, right? It's not like this is a hit all that brings everyone's defense down. You can't even pick who it goes on. It's okay, but not that amazing. Okay. Trait, Tiny Frame. This character is not affected by effects that increase or reduce attack. So very similar to the Wildcats' Lith Frame. In fact, I would say there's a lot of things similar to the Wildcats in this one. So in other words, you've got similar family bonuses. They have frame traits. So like all in all, I think that makes sense, but I'm not in love with it. This guy's attack will just always be what it is. 1976 attack would be where this guy just exists forever during the fights because of that passive. Okay, over here in the Aether Power department, we do get damage reduction. This is going to reduce the incoming received damage by 10% for the first 6 turns, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Operating down here, we have Blazing Matchstick at fast speed. It's going to deal 390% damage to the target and nearby enemies, so that's a reasonable hit at 390. And you get Wild. For 3 turns, the target and nearby enemies receive 296 or 592 burn damage each turn. It's weird. Okay, what's this question mark say? Wild adds a chance each turn for this effect to be more powerful. This Wild effect has a 50% chance to deal 100% extra damage that turn. When extra damage is dealt, the effect also reduces the enemy's max health, and it's stronger against boosted health. Okay. Wild effects bypass most effects that would normally prevent them from being applied. Well, that's interesting. And wild effects can be applied in addition to other effects of the same type. Okay. So that actually is useful to know. I don't know exactly what I think of Wild right now. It is nice that it can stack with other burn type effects, so that's cool. I think it's weird that the damage could be 296 or 592, and it's a 50% chance for each. It's a lot of variable in there. I mean, like half the time it's going to reduce max health by a large chunk, half the time it won't. That's just hard to understand and plan for and calculate well, so I don't love the randomness to it, but it's interesting. The caster and nearby allies get plus 35% mana generation for 3 turns. Well, that's certainly helpful, right? I think we all like increased mana generation. Operating at fast speed, you're really going to get some nice mana effect out of this character. So, like, overall, where do I rate this guy? Let's talk about what he does, the pros, the cons, all of that. To start things out, he's a fast hit 3 for a reasonable amount and leaves a pretty strong dot effect afterwards. The dot effect could end up doing max health reduction 50% of the time, but the rest of the time it does a minor amount of dot damage instead and no max health reduction. But I do like the fact that he is pumping out additional mana generation for himself and nearby. I think this guy will be great for helping you push slower heroes to the forefront because operating at fast speed, you can get this guy off relatively quickly. You're going to then increase the mana generation of your slower heroes, and you can hopefully get them off in less tiles. But I mean, it's hard to say if that will function perfectly, but I do think it's pretty cool. So, all in all, I'm not overly impressed with the with the family or the passive bonuses that we get out of this guy. His effects are kind of random. I'm going to give this guy an 8 overall. I think he's still very good because he's a fast hit 3 with reasonable dot damage and plus mana and all that fun stuff. So, like, he's very reasonable, but nothing about this guy is very game changing. When I think about the special families that were released in the last couple portals, the Shady Scoundrels come to mind, the Temple Heroes, all of them had effects that were massive, right? This guy he's just kind of there. Like, he's not bad, but he's just kind of there. The Wildcats were released in the last birthday portal, so maybe that's why they released this family that's very similar to them. But if you take a think back on who was released in that birthday portal, we had Rajesh and we had Leone, right? And as Wildcats go, I mean, we're 1 year later. They are not really anyone's top choice to be putting in their teams, right? Like, so they did not have a very lasting impact. And I think the same might be true for these guys. I think they're interesting, but I don't see how we necessarily get a lasting impact out of them. Although maybe the next one will be better. Let's take a look. Okay, so there you have it. We'll give this guy just an 8 overall. Next up, we have our Sproutwhisker. Okay, so Sproutwhisker is a very interesting hero. Little green mouse here. So we get a green cleric. Family bonus again is going to be what we just went over, but let's do it one more time. There's a bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes. You get 6, 12, or 18% extra chance to dodge special skills. Each special skills dodged will heal this hero for 100, 150, or 200 health. Okay, so again, not overly impressive. You need to have multiple of these heroes to make this particularly impressive, because if he's all by himself, he gets a 6% chance to dodge, and when he dodges, he heals for 100. It's not really that impactful. Now, down here in the passives department, we do get Nibble. When an ally casts their special skill, this character deals 200% damage to a target and gives them negative 35% defense for 3 turns. Okay, so I don't think I caught this on the last one, but it's when an ally casts their special skill that this triggered. I thought it was when they cast it. So this can go off a little bit more often. You have 4 allies in your team to start, so he has 4 chances whenever any of them, well, my point is he has a chance whenever any of them goes off that he will then do a 200% hit and lower someone's defense. That's a little bit more interesting. I thought it was only when he triggered, so cool. Very cool. I don't hate that as much. It's going to trigger a lot more often this way. Then we also have trait Tiny Frame. This basically just means that his attack stat can't be changed. Much like the Wildcats defense stat can't be changed, same thing. Can't be affected by up or down effects, growth, wither, any of that. None of it's going to matter. So this guy's attack is always just going to be that 1858. So keep that in mind. All right. Then in our Aether Power department, we do get Regen, which is probably one of the most boring Aether Powers there is. It just lets them heal 420 health over 6 turns, which is something low, like 80 health a turn or something. And worth noting, if they are topped off and at full health at the beginning of the fight, this doesn't do boosted health or anything, so it just has no effect at all. So it's okay, but nothing exciting there. All right, down in the specialist department, we get Vibrant Whistle. Okay, so operating at average speed. Oh, that's interesting. It goes right into the wild effect. So it doesn't look like we're getting any damage out of this guy. Interesting. Okay, so wild. For 4 turns, all allies either regenerate 400 HP or 800 HP. Well, let's take a look here. It's still a 50% chance. Okay, so the wild has a chance for it to be more powerful, 50% chance. That's going to heal the extra health. That turn, when extra HP is healed, the effect gives boosted health. So instead of max health reduction, you can get boosted health when it triggers the stronger effect. Effects bypass most effects that would normally prevent it from being used. And then it also said wild effects can be applied in addition to other effects of the same type. Now, I guess what's cool about that is you could have multiple boosted health regens going at the same time. So that's interesting. That might be where this guy can give you a lot of value if you build a team around that concept. But what's weird about this is it doesn't really specify what effects, because it says most effects that would normally prevent them from being applied. Without a more detailed list, like I'm going to assume it would not work in like a bloody battle, right? Although it says it bypasses most, I'm guessing something like that would still stop it from functioning. But it doesn't get very specific, so we just won't know until we have some play testing to see what effects can and cannot prevent this type of healing. Okay, then down here it also says for the next 4 turns, all allies receive 10% mana at the end of each turn. Now that is kind of cool because it's a flat 10% received for everyone at the end of each turn. So by the end of 4 turns, you're looking at 40% mana gained. It takes a little while to get there, but I do think that's nice. It does speed things along for your allies, and then all allies get that 55% defense for 4 turns as well. Okay, so pros and cons of this guy. Oh gosh, I don't know. Like, I don't think either of these new heroes are overly impressing me. Like, look, here's the thing. This guy's got a trait that protects his attack stat, but he does nothing with attack. Literally nothing. So, like, this passive, scratch it off the list, doesn't really matter. The nibble's kind of fun. I do like that as a passive. His family bonus, let's be realistic. You probably don't have a lot of rodents at this point, so the family bonus is negligible for the most part. This guy doesn't do any direct healing, which I think they probably should have done for him, especially operating at average speed and not fast. This guy deserved to do like maybe a 20% heal to all, or even a 15% heal to all, but some kind of direct healing immediately. The fact that you have to wait till average speed to get off an effect that then triggers each turn for 4 turns, I just don't think this guy's going to operate at a speed that's that significant. I do like that he gives the mana to your team, and I do like that he gives the defense, but I don't feel like it's enough. Like, I'm not trying to be mean to this guy, but I just don't feel like it's enough. Maybe this guy will get like a balance adjustment, but like I'm not necessarily feeling him. So at the moment, like, where would I rate this guy? Honestly, a 7. I think he's less impressive than I've seen most new releases currently. So I'm just putting him at an average 7. He reminds me more of like a seasonal release than necessarily a brand new family hero that's supposed to like really impress us. Anyway, my point is he's okay. He's fine. I mean, if you pull him, cool. Like, why not use him? But I just am not overly impressed by the guy. Okay, so there you go. We'll just give him a 7. All right, that being said, I'm still wrapping my head around. I'm trying to see if I missed an angle, but I don't think I have. I just don't think that these heroes are that exciting as a new family, but who knows? Again, time will tell. So let's see what we're going to do here. We did go over this whole event. I did say that I would do some polls at the end of this, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll do a 10 poll, and we'll see what we can do. I think I have pretty much landed on these featured being the ones that I want. And I certainly hope if you all are going to do your polls as well, that you get lucky. So let's cross our fingers and let's get it going. Birthday summon. Starting out with Lion String, Jack O'Hare, Morganite, Merlin, Saskia, Felton, Magin, Rakif, Yao. This is not looking good. Fawn. And that's it. Rough. Okay. So my 10 poll did not play out all that well for me. I am probably not overspendy in this event. I do love these gimmick portals, but the reality is I'm mostly a cheap to play player. So if you're looking to see someone do like a ton of polls, you're going to have to look to the other content creators. That's just not me. I try to be realistic with my game spending. I do really love this game, and gosh, these portals are tempting. But listen, I wish you all the best of luck with your polls, and we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.